Welcome to Webster Now with your host, Garrett Wagner.
Webster, you can tell it's still summer out, it's still sunny, it's July, and we're back with another one of our candidate interview series for the upcoming election this November for Town Supervisor. We've got two candidates again stopping by, Sean Hanna, the Republican candidate, and Kevin Lockhart, the Independent candidate. And this time we're talking to you about the real estate tax reassessment, which I know a lot of you are worried about. I know we haven't had a reassessment in almost forever in Webster, and that's okay, but now it makes us a little more nervous. So you want to know what's going on, and you want to know how the town supervisor-elect, the person that's going to be in charge, is going to handle that situation. So let's hear from both candidates and see what they think about it. Hey Webster residents, we're back with our candidate interview series. Kevin Lockhart, Independent candidate, Town Supervisor, right?
Formal title.
Formal title, it's official. Kevin, today we're talking about a big topic. All right, a lot of residents are worried, the reassessment.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. So and when it comes to the reassessment, how do you think about it, and how do you think residents should think about it?
Don't worry about it. Donna Kamor has this handled. Chris at Reassessment, she's the appraiser. They have this handled. We hired a contractor, KLW Consulting, or
close
I don't
enough.
know their formal title.
KLW stops there.
We hired KLW. They came in significantly below the other bid, so we pay them about $432,000. Garrett and I spoke with Donna, made sure that the fee schedule is not going to increase beyond that $432,000. I grilled Donna about this, just making sure that there's no one's hiding the ball on these issues. I sat in at the reassessment meetings. You don't have to fill out the inside, what do you call it, this interior survey. That's optional, folks. It's voluntary. The sessions are on the town website. You can follow along with the recordings. The assessments are the result of a law that requires us to, as a town, to reassess from 43% of the value of a property to 100%. So there's a significant increase in the property values. Are we in agreement so far
Correct.
on this?
Yep.
And people are worried this is going to increase their taxes. Where do the taxes come from? We pay, it's the revenue that comes in and it's the spending that goes out. Our revenue that comes in is generated about 50% from property taxes. This is a result of our tax levies. Our tax levies can only go up 2% every year, but that's perpetually every year. So property taxes are going up, the budget is going up. What happens when the properties, when they're reassessed to their full value? The property values go up, but the tax levy remains the same, or in this case, it's going to be halved in proportion to whatever we need to collect the property tax levy. The total tax rate, somehow they do all this kind of magic stuff at Town Hall between the finance director, Paul Adams, and Donna Kamor, the reassessor, or the assessor, and they come up with their tax rate. That turns into the tax levy. I'm working with Garrett to keep the tax levy down. New York State keeps the tax levy increase capped at 2%. I talk to folks when I knock on doors. They say, I'm very worried about this. I say, don't worry about it. The most it's going to go up is 2% this year and then another 2% next year. But if we can cut spending, if we can, what else can we do? Figure out how to manage the payroll as effectively as possible, because that represents 55% of spending at Town Hall. But you'll notice the 50% of the revenue that comes in to Town Hall is from property tax levies, and 55% that goes out is to the payroll and benefits. So, but this is an interesting conundrum because, so we pay pensions, okay? So people are coming in to pay the pensions. People are coming in, they're retiring, and we pay their pensions. But then new people come in, down the line, they retire, and then we pay their pensions again. So this is a growing, I don't see how mathematically it works out over the long term. The budget's going up.
Yeah, I mean, any retirement benefit like pensions, it's perpetually growing. Like, it only stops growing when someone passes away, right? Like, once you join the workforce, you're in the pension program, you retire, you get paid out, you continue getting paid out until you pass away. So yes,
folks live a long time. That's in Webster. I've met folks that are sharp as a tack, and they're 93 years old. Some of my favorite folks.
Yeah. So what?
They just don't make them like they used to.
So what do you say to residents that are worried their taxes are going to go up?
I wouldn't be. Well, they're only going to go up 2% at the most, but 2% it can have a big impact on people. So I take that very seriously. I sit in the meetings. I want to maintain a very constant, close oversight of the KLW process, of the reassessment process. I go to all the meetings. I ask difficult questions about the coding in the neighborhoods. How are things being coded? What are the neighborhood codes? And I'm the type of person who wants to get really nosy about all of the details. So I would tell people not to worry about it, to have confidence that if the total property reassessments, if the total property values in the town of Webster doubles, the tax rate remains the same, which means the tax levy is going to be cut in half approximately. So we're going to see how this all works out, but I'm going to be making a big stink if folks' lives are being upended because the town needs more money to offset the enormous spending at Town Hall.
I count on that, Kevin. And with that, folks, you can see it's starting to rain. Where to go? We'll see you next time. All right, Webster residents, we're back with our candidate interview series for Town Supervisor. We've got Sean Hanna, Republican candidate for Town Supervisor. Sean, how you doing today?
I'm well, thanks. How's it going?
You know, it's summertime. It's almost over. It's been good. Busy. I mean, the village is happening.
It is. It's busy tonight, especially.
Yes, we're in the village right now. So, Sean, we got a big thing happening in Webster. The reassessment. Right? We haven't done one forever. Residents are, nervous and worried. So, in your mind, how should residents feel about the reassessment?
Well, I don't know how they should feel, but they should understand the truth about what's going on, and I'm afraid that both parties have been less than truthful when they've been discussing this issue with the people. It has been constantly told to the people that if your assessment doubles, don't worry about it, your taxes are not going to double. And that's true. But it's also what my mom used to call a lie of omission, because it's not the whole truth. And boy, would we get in trouble when we told a lie of omission. Look, if the town is to keep the property tax levy, which is the total number of tax dollars that they take out of the community, if they kept that completely level and didn't raise those taxes at all, then half the people's taxes would go up and half of the people's taxes would fall just by reason of the reassessment. As a practical matter, though, we know that doesn't happen. Town tax rates and town tax levies have increased every single year for I don't know how many years. So when you're raising the assessment and you're raising the rates, that does project your taxes way up. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is the part that they don't talk about, which is the county taxes, the school taxes, both of which when combined comprise the overwhelming majority of people's tax bills. Those folks are not going to keep the rates the same. They're not going to lower their rates to make sure that their tax levies stay the same. So even the people whose town taxes are going to go down are almost certainly going to see their school taxes go up and the county taxes go up. So this tax assessment, reassessment, while it's required by law and may be necessary to do, it's going to hurt, and that's what people should know about.
And Sean, that's an important part that people don't think about. Okay, even like you said, even if the best case for the town in a magical world, the town somehow doesn't raise the budget, which would be great, and then they're able to keep everyone's real estate taxes exactly flat in this process through almost magic math. But yes, that's
fuzzy math.
But that's the other part of I think the town taxes are, let's call it 20 to 25% of someone's real estate tax bills.
Right around there.
But yet the school and the county are the bigger piece.
Yes.
And those, as you said, they have their own playbook. They do their own thing. And that's not being negative to the school or the county. They just have different rules.
They form the overwhelming majority.
Yes.
They have different rules. They have different interests. But there are also, much smaller taxing districts, like the business improvement district, fire districts, all these kinds of taxing authorities that we have in New York State. And they also have their own interests. They also have their own rules, and they will see a town-wide reassessment as an opportunity to realize more revenue.
Which that can be heard in residents.
Oh yeah, I mean our tax bills are already extraordinarily high. And it's not a criticism of anyone in particular. It's a realization of the situation we have throughout upstate New York. That's why so many people are leaving, and unfortunately nothing is being done about it. The exodus continues, and it will continue unless we get our property tax burden under control.
So with that, Sean, as we look to the future of this process, already started. Can't wait to get out of it. The current town supervisors talk about doing a reassessment more often. What are your thoughts on it?
It's hard to say that as a blanket statement. Whether or not you need a reassessment depends entirely upon the market conditions. How much have property values fluctuated in Webster, across the state, across the nation, and even in certain parts of Webster. So to say, well, we need to do it more often is silly. Number one, it brings harm to people like we just discussed, and number two, they're very expensive to be done. We pay experts to come in an awful lot of money to run these reassessment figures, and to do that when circumstances don't warrant it is really foolish.
Yeah, and that's the hard part of it. It's not a cheap process. It's a long process. I think 24 to 30 months. Mm-hmm. It takes a lot of work. It's a lot of cost. And it's one of those things we said, it's legally required in a nebulous way. There's I understand there's not a hard and fast rule of it must be done every number of years.
Correct, and some towns don't do it at all. There are towns across upstate New York that just ignore that requirement altogether. They've had the same assessments that they've had for decades, and they just won't change it.
And I can see why, because there's not a lot of upside to the town or the residents doing it.
They're very unpopular.
So Sean, thank you for stopping by. Hopefully residents are more informed. I mean, this is one of those ones you're not going to feel great about, but you're more informed. So residents, if you have more questions for supervisor candidates, please let us know. Sean, as always, thank you for stopping by.
Thanks very much.
All right, Webster, that's it for this episode, hearing from the candidates on the important issue of the real estate tax assessment. I want to thank both of them for taking the time to stop by. Our goal here is you can learn a little bit more about who you get to vote for in the upcoming election this November 2026. Because who you vote for in Webster is one of the most important things to do. So please, follow along, check out the future interviews we do, and be ready to vote for your town or what you want to see happen. And remember, as always, every step we take is a step towards a better Webster.
You've been watching Webster Now with Garrett Wagner. Join us next time for more local news and updates.